everybody, what's up? So my kids are asleep. I kind of have to talk not super loud, but I wanted to give you an update on my Michael Hyatt planner. So maybe some of you have heard this, probably a lot of you haven't, but we just found out a week ago that we are moving across the country again. So short story is 2.5 years ago we moved from Utah to Minnesota for my husband's job. He just got a promotion and we're actually moving back to Utah, which is totally unexpected but awesome because a lot of my family is there. So we're moving. It's the 2nd of November today, and we are moving in 2 weeks because we bought tickets to go there for Thanksgiving, so I'm going early, plus I'm going to this conference in Las Vegas, and I have a ton going on. But yeah, so basically in a matter of 3 weeks we will have found out that my husband got a job and be out of here. So that's a little nuts. I have my own business. Basically, I have 2 businesses, actually. One that I'm working on starting, the other that I've been running all year. And so I have 2 businesses, I have 2 kids, I have 1 husband, and my life has been crazy. Totally turned upside down as far as priorities and stuff going on and the way that I'm spending my time. So I want to tell you a little story. The past week has been nuts, and I've totally been spending my time on the wrong things. And I just started doing, I was oh my gosh, I gotta look for houses, and I gotta put our house for sale, and we gotta do this and that. And I was just scrambled all over the place. And this is the one thing that has helped me out. And I feel so good. And honestly, I feel I'm back to my normal, I have my time back. And I don't know if you've probably gotten into those moments where you're I have no time. What do I do? I'm so busy. And I'm totally have that excuse right now, but I am not using it because I have the same amount of time as you and any other person on this earth. I'm just learning to prioritize it better. So probably can't read this because this is backwards, but this is what I wrote out for today. So I just started, not these numbers, I started writing out all of these priorities that I have, or all the things I need to get done. I was oh my gosh, okay, so I have to prepare my house to sell. I gotta pack for Utah and Vegas, and I gotta prepare for this conference I'm going to. I have to prepare for this mastermind I'm going to in January, which is a lot of money and a big deal. I have to prepare for Best Year Ever Live, which is in January. I need to become a better public speaker. I need to update my website. I need to buy business cards. I need to create a website for this company that I'm starting. I need to switch over all of my business stuff because I'm sort of changing the name a little bit. So I have all these things that I gotta do, right? And I ranked those. I was okay, so if you've ever read this book, The One Thing, can you throw me that book? If you've ever read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, it is so awesome. And it has this amazing focusing question. The one thing. So the question is, what is the one thing that you can do that by doing makes everything else easier or unnecessary? And I was okay, let's take a look. So what's the one thing that I can do on here that's going to make my life easier? And for me, the priority was prepping for this conference called Ask Live. So I was okay, well, what's the next most important thing? And I just went through and I ranked these in order of what is important. And some of them didn't even get ranked because I was girl, you can't even worry about these until you get to Utah. So just don't even. So number 1 was preparing for Ask Live. So I told myself, okay, Natalie, what is the one thing you can do right now to prepare for Ask Live that will make everything else easier if you do this? And I was well, shoot, dude, I need to set aside 60 minutes and I need to prepare what I'm gonna say, all my bullet points, and the introduction that they're gonna give for me. So I did that at 6 o'clock this morning. I just was freak, I gotta wake up early and I gotta do this. So that's what I did. And by 8 o'clock I was my day is really awesome. I've done everything that my life feels easier. And it was amazing. It was so awesome. And then the painters came over, and then the guy who's gonna move us called, and all these things that are happening, and but it felt so good because I won my morning. So the next priority was I need to pack for Utah and Las Vegas. I was okay, what's the one thing that I can do that if I do it, it will make everything easier or unnecessary packing for Vegas? And I was well, I can bring my suitcases up from the basement. So I did that. I went downstairs, I got my suitcases, and I put them upstairs. And then I realized, okay, wait, I can't pack right now because A, I'm going to a conference tomorrow and the next day, so I don't have time to pack. Plus, I'm not going to just pack my stuff and have it be sitting in a suitcase all weekend. So I was okay, I'm going to time block. I'm going to time block and I'm going to do this next week. So, and the other thing I'm doing is I have another notebook somewhere else that has a list of things that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to have access to that for 2 months. I'm probably going to need nail polish. And so I was like, writing down nail polish. So I have this list forming of things that I need to bring. Okay, number 3 was prepare my house to sell. So I will not tell you all the gory details about that, but basically I did everything I could. I called everyone I needed to and started lining everything up as far as like painters and cleaners and carpet guy and my realtor. And it's like, hey, I am doing everything I possibly can. There is nothing more I can do other than wait for people to call me back and or wait for people to come to my house and do what they're supposed to do. So that felt really good to get to the point where I was like, I can't do anything else. Everything is done. It is easier now. And then I just kept going through that. And so I'm telling you, if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I have no time, or like, holy crap, I'm so overwhelmed, or like, I am so stressed out, what the heck am I even supposed to do right now? Like, I know I should be doing something, but what should I be doing? Like, you gotta do this. Write down everything that you've got going on in your head of like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And also don't forget to look at your long-term goals. Like, what do you want to even accomplish? What's the point? And so some of these, like, prepare for my mastermind in January and prepare for, like, Best Year Ever Live. Those are things that are, like, more long-term. Like, January, this event is, like, 3 months away, but still, like, I am acting on it now because it's important. And so make sure that when you do this, you don't just work in emergency mode, but you look at the distant future of like, here's what's important and not urgent, but things that I should be working on. So this super duper helped me. I'm using this daily big 3 to make sure that I am doing the 3 things that are the most important to get done, and that I do them in order. So until number 1 is done, I don't have permission to work on number 2, because why would I work on number 2 when my most important thing is not done? So, most important thing for me today was my 60-minute time block prepping for Ask. Ching, done. The second thing was start my packing list for Utah. Ching, done. Third thing, record a Michael Hyatt planner video, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'm doing it because my kids are in bed. And that's the only time I seem to be able to find that I can make uninterrupted videos, except for my husband interrupted me this time, but that's okay because I love him and he's nice and he doesn't crawl all over me when I'm trying to make a video. So that's what happened. And you know what? I actually had a lot of other random things happen. Like I have a client, we're going through a complete rebrand, renaming right now, and they were emailing me back and forth about some logos and about we were international, so in the country we were worried about some of the local branding, and like it was totally fine. I was like, I can totally email about this because I got my big 3 done. Well, at that time I had 2 done, but it feels so good to know what you're doing, what you should be doing, and like what to do tomorrow. So my recommendation for you, if you are moving across the country or not and just want to be organized and stay on top of things and feel productive, is to make sure that you get all that stuff out of your head of what you got to do, prioritize it, and then choose the one thing that you can do that will make everything else easier or unnecessary by doing it. And when you do that, oh, you will have a day like I had, which is an awesome day. So, okay, cool. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you're using your Michael Hyatt planner. I want to know if you are and if you're loving it. I am loving mine, and I am committed to using mine every single day for the rest of the year, because I know that using this every single day over the next 2 months is what will get me through this move and help me keep my sanity. And I have a group called My Best Self, which I had a coach who was like, Natalie, you need to look at the next 2 months, this period of time where you're moving back across the country, and say, look, this is my opportunity to be my best self and to show up as the best version of me. And don't let any of those habits that I have formed, like my morning meditation or my morning scriptures and prayers, or like eating healthy and exercising regularly, don't break any of those. Don't let any of those go, because those are sometimes the easiest things to let go of, but yet they're the most important. We should not ever be doing that. Like, you should not be sacrificing your health and your own personal well-being for some company or some money-making venture, because that's not more important. You are more important than that. Your family is more important than that. Your children are more important than that. Your spouse or your loved ones, or like, your health is more important than any dollar or business or any other thing. And if you don't believe me, just think about the people who have these like life-threatening situations and they're like get in an accident or they're sick or like have to go to the hospital. Like, you stop everything to do that. So don't get in the place where you might have to because you just overwork yourself or you get burnt out or you just like because like you don't take care of yourself. That doesn't seem good. So anyway, if you want to join my group, it's called My Best Self. It is a place for people like you and like me who think big, who want to achieve big things, and who want a supportive group. Maybe some people like me don't have a lot of like local support. I do have support. I don't have zero support. But I don't have a whole ton of support of people who I interact with on a regular, frequent basis. And so that's why having this online group is so wonderful, is because you can be online basically anytime you want to. So I have access to like daily support. I have reached out to a few of my friends that are in this group who have just taken seriously like a 15-minute phone call, help me get back on track and help me realize like I needed permission just to be present and put things aside and take care of what I need to. And just reaching out and doing that is so important, and don't be afraid to do it. If you want to reach out to me, like totally reach out to me. I would totally love to talk to you and hear about what you're going through and see if I could help you. And if you want to book 15 minutes with me, you can actually do that on my website, which I just updated. It was on my list, you saw. So if you go to nataliechamplin.com, you can book 15 minutes with me. And I would totally love to chat with you. And guess what? I have time, even though I'm moving across the country. Why? Because I'm only allowing people to book time on my calendar that I say is available. So if I say it's available, then you can book it. So anyway, long video, 11 minutes, almost 12. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.